New fallout today for the now former state senator accused of soliciting a teenage girl for sex.
Justin Eichhorn resigned by email this morning just before fellow lawmakers were set to expel him from the chamber. The 40-year-old Republican then appeared before a judge for the first time. We're following the news from the courthouse and the state capitol. Jonah Kaplan was at today's court hearing. We'll begin with him. Jonah, what'd you learn?
Justin Eichhorn is going to stay in jail, Frank, until a bed opens up in a halfway house. He was also ordered to surrender his passport and wear a GPS monitor. The now former state senator from Grand Rapids didn't say much in his first public appearance, but he didn't have to. The judge read him his Miranda rights and then read him a lengthy list of his conditions of that release once that spot in the halfway house becomes available. Besides the high-profile suspect, this is a unique case. It was a local investigation in Bloomington that at first brought with it some state charges, but then the federal government got involved and basically said, we'll take it from here. Legal analysts we spoke with say that's more than just a symbolic choice, because if convicted, Eichhorn is likely to be sentenced to federal prison.
There's a huge difference in penalties. In state court, a person would rarely ever go to prison on a child solicitation. The only times you would ever see that happen is if the person has a very bad criminal history. But normally, there's not a prison sentence. Whereas in federal court, there would be a prison sentence. In many situations, the mandatory minimum of 10 years would apply.
The state has dropped the charges now that the feds have taken over the case. Eichhorn will be back in court next week for a preliminary hearing. Amelia?
All right, Jonah, thank you. Eichhorn is now a former senator after he submitted his letter of resignation at the Capitol today. If he hadn't, though, lawmakers were ready to do something they've never done before. Caroline Cummings is at the Capitol, and she joins us now with what this means for the rest of the session. Hi there, Caroline.
Well, hi there, Amelia. So there have been attempts to expel members of the legislature in the past, but until now it has never even happened. So what, at least in modern memory, so what the Senate had planned to do today would have been a historic event, but that was all off the table when Eichhorn sent a letter to Governor Walz saying he's leaving office.
I am resigning my seat in the Minnesota Senate for District 6 effective immediately. I must focus on personal matters at this time.
The Secretary of the Senate read aloud Senator Eichhorn's resignation letter he sent to Governor Tim Walz Thursday morning. The move comes days after his arrest and amid mounting calls for him to step aside. If he didn't, Republicans were prepared to bring forward a motion to expel.
The charges that he's been accused of are so severe, and the transcript based on the reports are very damning. And so even though that has not been done, expulsion has not been done on the floor before, we felt that the charges warranted that.
Democrats in the majority said they would have joined Republicans since 2/3 of the chamber would need to vote yes to make it happen. They condemned the allegations.
The safety of the interns who come here to work and learn, the safety and the security of the staff who put their days in here were incompatible with the predatory nature of Mr. Eichhorn's behavior.
The fallout at the state capitol came at a crucial time in session as lawmakers begin putting together a budget and are staring down a potential deficit in future years.
This would have been a cloud hanging over the Senate. We don't need another one of those.
DFL Senator Nicole Mitchell faces a felony burglary charge for allegedly breaking into her stepmother's home last April. She has pleaded not guilty and has rejected calls to resign. Motions to expel Mitchell from Republicans have also failed to move forward.
The difference between the dispute with Senator Mitchell and this is night and day.
Now, Senator Mitchell is expected to stand trial in June after session is over. And I asked Johnson today if Senate Republicans have any other plans to bring forward motions to try to expel her. And he said today's focus was on now former Senator Eichhorn. Democrats, of course, would have to join Republicans in their quest to remove her from office.
Right,
Frank.
which hasn't happened before. But Caroline, thank you for the update.